Radio Winchester Studios, talking through life, struggles, and whatever's weighing on you. It's time for Therapy Thursday on Franklin County's favorite morning show, The Starting Lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee. And now for your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Good morning and welcome into the starting lineup on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. I don't know what to do with my hands. I am Joe Abraham. Whoa. Hold on.
Now you done it.
I'm trying to move my mic around. I got to get my drink where I want it and my computer where I want it and all my things where I want it. It is a Therapy Thursday.
Good morning, Brett.
Brett's already in the chat.
W's in the chat for Brett.
Brett needs therapy this morning. It is a Therapy Thursday. We welcome you in. Go head on over to the ESPN Winchester Facebook page where you can jump in on the FMO Facebook feed. Let's see how this goes this morning.
You feeling good? You see, your energy seems to be up this morning.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I've slammed my Loco cup of coffee this morning, so I've got a little bit of energy, but I'm still balancing. I'm trying to work off the pre-workout.
Mm-hmm. Get the spiders out of your skin.
Yeah, and as good as the Loco coffee is, it's not chemically engineered to get my body ready to run through a brick wall.
I understand.
It is the starting lineup, like I said. Lines are open today, 931-967-3500. You can hit us on the text line as well, 931-305-5611. And you can also, as I said before, head on over to the FMO Facebook feed where you can jump into the chat. Therapy Thursday is one of my favorite days. It's a newer segment that we have added to the show here. And basically, I want you to think about it like this. Fix my life, it's now or never. Chewy's not gonna live forever. He's only gonna be here for a certain amount of time. The guy may not make it till next Thursday. So if you need your life fixed now, and I'm talking about your real core problems, the ones that go all the way down to your heart and soul, those ones you're not going to want to bring to him. I'm talking about the other ones because Chewy and I will give you some really confident, really terrible advice on how to fix your life.
Andrew in the chat this morning. Good morning,
Good morning, Andrew. There's no good advice is allowed on this show. For sure. But we've got a lot of things to get into, and I'm going to start by a lot of people, if you've swapped over to the FMO Facebook feed and you're viewing the show this morning like some folks are, you may notice, Chewy, there are no sleeves on my shirt this morning.
Yeah? Is that weather related?
Not really.
Oh, okay. You're just letting everybody know that you're not messing around.
Well, here's the deal. I'm not back to being jacked, but I will say this. Yesterday, I went to church. Wednesday's I think it's the third Wednesday of the month, is potluck night at church.
Okay.
And I've been getting these mixed signals lately from the community. We've talked about softball dad.
Yeah.
And what he said to me.
Somebody needs to go and shake that guy's hand for the amount of content we've gotten from that.
Yeah. Well, fast forward to yesterday. I'm standing in potluck line, and church dad comes up to me, and he hits me with, "What's up, big guy?"
Oh, my God. Legend.
So I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm small. Maybe I'm big. But I'm not wearing sleeves today. That's for sure.
You know what? It's great motivation. I see it in your eyes. You know, I think they want you to be better.
It set me back into the gym like really hard for 3 days. And I was really getting after it last week. And then that kind of caught up with me physically. Because, you know, I'm old. I've wrestled so many bulls in the area here as of late. They don't have the same. It's not like a cow with milk. I think they're all out of the testosterone. I think I might need to go get the low T center or something like that on the air as a. You think they trade testosterone for advertising?
Do radio advertising for bull shark testosterone.
I need to raise my T. I'm not the only one struggling with this, okay, this morning. So I just wanted to set the record straight. You woke up this morning in pain. Your back is hurting you.
It is, yes.
And I told you this was going to happen.
You are, unironically, it hasn't even been a month yet, and I'm already, like, sleeping weird.
Your back's hurting. Katie's back is hurting. My back was hurting a couple of weeks ago before I got called small and just needed to. You know what happens? Somebody challenges you like you just say, my back's not hurting anymore. You, my friend, you have entered Unk territory. Yeah. I'm going to say it right now.
Joe, don't say it.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you, in the last 24 hours, used or considered using a heating pad?
Oh, crap. Oh, no.
Might as well just sign up for Life Alert now, my friend.
Oh, no. Yeah. One of those icy hot patches, dude. Oh, that would have been good. That would have been fire.
Well, I'm not done with this. We're going to circle back.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Brett said that he wants to know who softball that is.
So, speaking of softball, tonight we will be going out and doing the softball game. It's going to be our first softball broadcast of the season.
All right.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty cool. Johnny and I will be out there.
The FCH varsity football, it's at home. I'm reading scroll text. I think he did it yesterday. At home Thursday at 5:30.
I don't know who's updating that.
Johnny does it whenever he comes in
Does
the
he?
afternoons. That's really nice. Shout
That
out
is
to
good
Johnny.
for him. So, yes, if you see across the bottom, and this is the big news, we were going to – here's the funny thing. I need to get my lines of communication set with Coach Reed and the quarterback club and all the things. Because – and it's up to him. He's the man, right? The head coach, he determines when and how he wants to release stuff. But what I caught wind of this yesterday, and by caught wind I mean he called me and told me directly. He told me, "Hey, this is what's going on," and I got all excited. I'm like, "Oh yeah!" He's like, "Can you create like a put it out there, create a graphic, and do all the things that you do?" I said, "Of course." I said, "I got this, coach. Put me in, coach. Put me in. I'm ready to play." So he called me and he's telling me what all the details are. And in my head, I'm immediately thinking, okay, we're going to tease the crap out of this overnight in Johnny's show, into the afternoon, overnight, and it'll get the buzz going. And what will happen is everybody around town is going to be like, what is the announcement? Oh, I got to tune into the morning show because we got to hear what the announcement is. And it's not about the morning show getting any kind of love. It's not about us getting any kind of attention. What it is you tell them that there's big news, and everybody starts talking about what's the big news. And everybody's got to know. Everybody's got to find out. It has nothing to do with us. It has to do with the news. Okay? Chewie's pumping his arms on the other side of the table like, calm down.
All right.
Don't heart attack out on me
Your
right
blood
in the middle of
pressure
segment one.
Yeah, your blood pressure is rising.
Okay. I'm very passionate about this process, okay? So I'm thinking we're going to generate all this excitement, And then in the morning, we're going to drop this bomb on everybody. And then, oh, this is such a big deal. Oh, this is awesome. No. So then what I found out in communication with, I actually then got a text message from James Price with the Quarterback Club. This is pulling back the curtain probably a little bit too much. But James texts me and he says, hey, what is your plan for rolling this out from a ticket sales standpoint and all the things? And I said, wow, this is what I was going to do. And he says, well, they already told the team. Like he told you because he already told the players.
Yeah.
And I went from like way up here to just because once the players know, they go home and they immediately tell their family. They're telling their friends. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
So he told the players. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm telling Johnny now because Johnny was on the air. Johnny didn't know. Mm-hmm. He just knew that there was a surprise. So I walk in here, and we did it towards the end of his show, and then we posted it to Facebook. So if you're wondering what we're talking about and you haven't heard the news, you only had to deal with like 2 minutes of me pumping it up, not, 15 hours. Essentially, what has happened is that Franklin County has agreed to terms with Tullahoma for a spring game on May 8th, which is a Friday. And here is the kicker. This should get everybody in Franklin County's attention. Franklin County will get to keep 100% of all pre-sale tickets sold, 100% of the revenue of all pre-sale tickets sold through Franklin County. So they're directly getting the tickets from Tullahoma, and then we are selling them here. Now, the number that I was told, and I don't know if this is going to change, but the number that I was told was $5. So I don't know if that's going to be the actual price. I don't know when and how you're going to be able to buy these tickets. I think soon, very, very soon.
Okay.
You'll be able to start buying these tickets. So, again, Friday, May 8th. Now, this is what we've been talking about, right? And it's a spring game, I know. The 8th graders, the rising 8th graders into the freshmen, they're not going to necessarily be there. I know. They should be there watching the game.
Right.
But everybody should try and be there because this is a great opportunity to directly support the football program. This is how we are able to build up and build better. This is how you fund things. This is how you build something that lasts, guys. Show up. It's going to be the first opportunity to see a Coach Reed squad on the field. He's not going to show the offense or the defense necessarily. What it's going to show is like how clean they are, hopefully. Mm-hmm. That they're operating in an organized fashion, that they're able to get in and out of the huddle, onto the field, all the things. It's going to still be probably a fairly small roster on the sideline. Again, no freshmen. But his goal ultimately, Chewy, is that, and in years past, we've seen freshmen and sophomores make a big impact on the field.
Right.
The long-term goal for this squad is for there to be a freshman team, a JV team, and then the varsity team. When I played in Florida, we had 80 kids in the program.
Wow. But that wasn't abnormal at the time, right?
No, and I don't think it's still abnormal. We had 80 kids in the program, and what we did, we had a freshman team, a JV team, and then the varsity team. And if you were on the varsity team, there were like 3 to 5 guys that made varsity as sophomores every year. That's it. And mostly they did not get playing time. And in the time that I was there was only one freshman I saw that ever made varsity. His name was Noel Devine, and he went on to play for West Virginia. Mm-hmm. And he actually was one of the first YouTube sensations from a recruiting standpoint that there ever was, way back when. But that's what Coach Reed wants to build here. He wants to have such a strong feeder system that the top of our funnel is filled so much that we're getting high-quality, high-level athletes that come in and are playing for the varsity program.
Cool.
That's the ultimate goal, to build that out. It's going to take time to get there, of course. But here's the other thing that I want people to remember. And I went back and I looked recently as last night. Since the 80s, I think Eric Taylor was born in 81. You've got Eric Taylor, Jawan Jennings, and I'm missing one. Hold on. I've got it written down on my phone, actually. Eric Taylor, Jawan Jennings. Where did it go? Oh, man. Riveting radio. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. There's one more that I'm missing as far as NFL players.
Mm-hmm. $5 though goes a long way for these.
Jawan Jennings, Eric Taylor. Oh, Alante Taylor. Alante Taylor, who played at Coffee County, was actually born in Winchester, in Franklin County.
Oh, interesting.
You know how many players have gone to the NFL from Coffee County in that span since 1980? That were born in Coffee County? 0. Bedford County? 0. Moore County? 0. Franklin County, and although, again, I'm not necessarily talking about guys who played here in Franklin County. That's part of the problem. We got to keep them here. We got to keep these homegrown kids. There's something in the water, Chewy.
Mm-hmm.
We got to keep these kids here. But Alante Taylor was born in Franklin County as well.
Wow.
Yes, $5 can go a long way.
Yeah, it's talking about that's part of the way that they support themselves, obviously, and having 100% of the profits means a lot more than I think people may realize as well. This is a special game, and we want to instill some of that rebel pride. Go show them how proud of you really are.
Yeah,
this is your opportunity.
So I just got a text message from Coach Reed. He says he can swing by in hour number 2.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to have him in studio to talk a little bit about it. But, yeah, if it's 100% of the proceeds and we get 500 people there, at $5, that's $2,500.
There you go.
Now, let's get the break in here. When we come back, yes, it's opening day of baseball season, but we've already had a game. And I'll tell you what happened last night. As a Yankees fan, a little bit of good news, a little bit of bad news. The Braves play tomorrow night. And normally we would have that game, but it's at the same time as the Tennessee Vol. Well, it's actually a little bit earlier than the Tennessee Vol game. But we're not going to run into the tournament game with the Vols. But I'll tell you what happened last night out in San Francisco between the Yankees and the Giants next. It is the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
The Franklin County Prevention Coalition brings together families, schools, churches, and community partners to connect you with trusted prevention and recovery resources right here at home. From substance misuse education and youth programs to recovery support and community training, help is here when you need it, because we are stronger together. And when we choose healthy paths forward, we are stronger without it. Get involved at fcpctn.org. Funded under a grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Spring is in the air, and so are fresh new savings at Furniture Merchandise Outlet, FMO, right here in Tullahoma. Ready to refresh your space? From living rooms and bedrooms to dining sets and mattresses, FMO has the styles you want at prices you'll love. No long waits, no sticker shock. Just take it home today. Visit them at 105 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma or browse anytime at FMOTN.com. Furniture Merchandise Outlet, where spring cleaning turns into a spring upgrade.
Starting off our morning in the low to mid-60s and then warming up today all the way up to 81 degrees, bright and sunny. Got some light winds coming in from 5 to 10 miles per hour from the southwest to keep you nice and cool on this very beautiful summer-like day. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester 1340 1069 for all of your sunny weather updates.
Hey folks, I'm Johnny Hand from WCDT, the home for Franklin County Athletics. From Friday night football to every big game in between, we're proud to bring you all the action that keeps our community cheering. Want to be part of that excitement? We'd love to talk with you about advertising and other great opportunities to support our local athletes. So give us a call today at 931-967-2201 or stop by the station at 1201 South College Street right here in Winchester. WCDT Winchester. We are Franklin County.
Tune into the starting lineup on the FMO Facebook feed. Just go to Facebook.com/ESPN Winchester. Now, back to Joe and Chewy.
Here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham along with Chewy on a Therapy Thursday, and Brett Crabtree jumping into the chat.
I was about to say, yeah.
Saying what everybody else is thinking. Nobody cares about the Yankees. Gross. LOL. Okay. Which I can appreciate. The Yankees won last night against the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
And let me just put it this way. As a Yankees fan, we're on our way to undefeated. 162-0, baby. Here we come.
Jonathan Smith says nice tan lines, by the way. You can't catch a break, can you?
Listen, I've been spending some time out in the sun.
Well, it's been a little chilly out lately. You know? You got to get back out there.
Well, that's why I had to rip the sleeves off.
Exactly.
Got to get rid of these tan lines. So Aaron Judge, here's the thing. I'm not really going to spend much time talking about the Yankees. Aaron Judge went 0 for 5 yesterday. That's right. The American League MVP from last year went 0 for 5. He had 4 strikeouts, and I don't know what it's...
Aaron Judge had 4 strikeouts?
I don't know what's been going on with him since the World Baseball Classic.
Dang.
But here's what happened, Chewy. 4 strikeouts is referred to... It's called a golden sombrero.
What?
I don't know. I want to know. Does anybody actually know? If anybody knows why it's called a golden sombrero, please drop it in the chat.
Eric Ramos says, Judge was terrible 4Ks.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was a different thing. Okay.
4Ks, 4 strikeouts. So in hockey or in any sport, really, you've got the hat trick.
Right.
3 of a kind of anything is the hat trick, right? 4, how, and maybe that's it. Maybe because a sombrero is a bigger hat.
Oh, so it's like bigger than 3?
And because it's gold, it's like made of gold. I don't know.
That was a really good impression.
I don't know why it's called the golden sombrero.
I bet you.
But it simply raises the question. Because we don't know where that comes from. But what would you call... He went 0 for 5, which means he almost...
Oh.
Yeah, he almost had a 5th strikeout. He could have had a 5th strikeout, right? He didn't, but he could have. Let me put this into perspective. Last year, all of last year, Aaron Judge did not have a 4 strikeout game. And he's 1 for 1 this year. What would we call a 5 strikeout game?
Ooh, so, okay, according to Google's AI... It says it's often attributed to the popularity of late 1970s and 80s, popularized by Carmelo Martinez. Not invented by, but at least popularized by him. Do you recognize that name?
Never heard of her.
Yeah, and then they're just mentioning... Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Related terms. 5 strikeouts in a game. A platinum sombrero.
A platinum sombrero.
And then 6 strikeouts is a titanium sombrero, which is weird because then it goes
Why has
down.
it got to be a sombrero, though?
Yeah, what's with the sombrero? Does anybody in the chat know? If you guys could tell us, I'd be interested.
I think we got to incorporate Chewy's beanie. It should be the platinum beanie, something like that.
Well, if it's the golden sombrero, you got to think of a bigger, more wild hat. You know what I mean?
So would your hat just like the beanie would just be one strikeout?
Right. So one strikeout would be the wrought iron beanie, and then the two strikeouts,
the rusty beanie.
Oh God, the tetanus beanie. But two strikeouts, that'd be like the silver ball cap,
platinum.
It just, I don't know, but that's pretty wild. I think it's.
Oh, you know what they should have called it?
Huh.
The Cinco de Strikeout. That should be 5.
Dude, legend. Trying to watch my words this morning. You know what I mean? That was a great one.
Or retirement.
Just retirement.
Just like
yeah. So okay,
the minor league, the mariachi band. I don't know. Send him home.
Here's my question. So I've heard about Aaron Judge for a while. Is he sort of closing his chapter of baseball? Or
no.
Is he in the middle of his prime?
No, he's right in the middle of his prime.
Okay.
It's just a bad night.
All right. I was just wondering if this is like the first crack in the dam kind of thing.
No, I don't know. Maybe. He's one of these guys who is like freakishly huge. And so you got to wonder, is that going to mean, like, is his body going to break down at a different pace than
That's a good point.
Different athletes? I don't think any of that's the case. I think that it's just one bad night. I don't think he suddenly sucks.
Okay.
He did just come off of winning, the American League MVP.
Doug Garrett also was saying, sorry I'm late. Did I miss anyone dunking on Joe? I see the sun's out, guns out Thursday.
Getting there. Drinking my protein shake. Post my local coffee. And I think next in the cup is going to go the creatine.
I was going to ask you if you've been hitting the creatine.
With a half a scoop pre-workout.
Wow.
I think I might drop that.
You're really trying to hurt yourself this morning.
Well, it's what the people pay for. Right? And by pay for, I mean don't pay at all for. They just jump in the chat and they want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Train wreck between you and I. Which one of us is going to hit the floor first? That's what they're waiting on.
What's funny is that it's for different reasons,
Yeah.
too. Like you're going to overdo it. I'm going to underdo it.
Or I'm going to hit you upside the head with the baseball bat. One way, somebody's going down.
Oh, man. I literally cannot wait for the day.
Oh, man. So later this morning at 7:40, we will have trivia with Scotty. We're going to go over to the Oasis. And I'm excited about that. No Mayor Crabtree this morning.
All right.
He is so busy right now, he cannot even find time to pull away. And, in fact, I was texting with him yesterday, and he wanted me to mention this thing going on. I don't know if you've seen this, but they're honoring Dinah Shore.
I heard about this. So Katie's News talked about this a little bit.
Yeah. The Tennessee Music Pathways marker is going up today, I believe at noon. And so we're gonna take a quick break here in a moment. We'll talk about that when we come back. Some of the other things that he wanted me to mention, though, is the ramp.
Right.
The new boat ramp is going to be good to go to use for the April tournament, which is coming up soon as well. The Tim's Ford Bass Classic, which Chewy's got the flyer for.
Saturday, April 4th. Oh, so like next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I text Jerry Freeman. We're going to get him back in here to talk about that again as well.
Cool.
Here soon. So I encourage you to get involved in that if you're an angler. It's going to be a fun time.
He's a really cool guy. I bet you he's got like a lot of like really awesome stories. You know what I mean? Just from seeing all these like how many guys have caught stuff throughout the years in Tim's Ford and that kind of thing.
And then he said, got a ton going on as we close in on the new budget. Council is considering new city hall renovations to bring it up to code. Way too much happening right now. He's so keep him in your thoughts and prayers as he continues to try and run the city. Now, speaking of thoughts and prayers, we mentioned this. It is a Therapy Thursday, So if you have any issues that you need us to fix for you, we can do that. I promise you. I can. Chewy can fix your life, okay?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
No pressure.
He's going to do it. So if you got work problems, if you got relationship problems, if you got back pain, he can't help you with that. If you've got sports frustrations or life decisions, important life decisions, I'm telling you.
Drop it in the chat. Let us know.
Yeah, and we can run it through one of two filters. Alpha confidence dude or like old man, I don't want to get off the couch vibes. What would your vibes be?
The dude.
The dude vibes. We can run it through both filters. You can choose which route you want to go and then tell us how it works out or doesn't.
It just gets worse.
Yeah. Listen.
We talk about it and then you feel worse afterwards.
Here's my perspective on this whole thing, okay? We may not be able to like fix your problems, but we all die anyway.
Yeah.
So who cares? You know, and if you get in like legal trouble, it'll give you an out. You can just be like, wow, this guy on the radio told me I should do that.
Yeah, tell people to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll blame Chewy.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back on the other side.
It won't be around long enough anyway.
It is the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
Spring is a season of renewal, and at High Point Health System, with Ascension St. Thomas, your health is always in season. From routine checkups to advanced care, their dedicated team is here to help you feel your best, today and every day. Compassionate care, backed by the strength of Ascension St. Thomas. This spring, take a moment for your health. Learn more or find a provider at highpointhealthsystem.com. High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas. Caring for you for every season of life.
At Citizens Community Bank, we're here to make your banking easy and convenient. Whether you're visiting us in person at our main location at 1418 Dinah Shore Boulevard in Winchester, or others in Deckard and Huntland, or managing your money on the go with our secure mobile app, we've got you covered. Call us today at 931-967-3342. That's Citizens Community Bank, Equal Housing Lender Member FDIC. Your trusted partner in banking for over 30 years.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Franklin County Rebelettes snapped a 3-game losing streak Tuesday night with a 7-3 road win over Lawrence County. With the victory, Franklin County improves to 7-9 overall and 2-1 in district play. The Rebelettes will return home Thursday to host Giles County with first pitch scheduled for 5:30 p.m. In Winchester, the community is preparing to honor one of its most iconic natives. The Tennessee Department of Tourist Development will join local leaders to unveil a Tennessee Music Pathways marker recognizing entertainment legend Dinah Shore. Born Frances Fannie Shore in Winchester, Dinah Shore rose to national prominence as a pop singer and television pioneer. She was named Billboard Magazine's top female vocalist on disc jockey shows and top-selling artist in 1946. Her career included hit songs like I'll Walk Alone, The Gypsy, and Buttons and Bows, along with successful television programs including The Dinah Shore Show and The Dinah Shore Chevy Show. Shore earned 6 Emmy Awards and was inducted into the Emmy Hall of Fame in 1992. The marker unveiling is set for Thursday, March 26th at noon at 107 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester. The event will include remarks and interview opportunities with city and state leaders, as well as members of the Shore family. Meanwhile, Franklin County schools earned major recognition in STEM education. The district secured 4 of the 6 TVA STEM grants awarded within the Duck River Electric service area. Grants were awarded to April Green at Cowan Elementary, Sue Heaton at Deckard Elementary, Leslie Jones at Huntland School, and Jessica Guess at South Middle School. The combined $17,500 in funding will support hands-on learning projects for students across the county. For more local news and sports updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
This is Daryl from Columbus, previously from the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Check in scissor hands. I'm the wrong guy to ask, but what's the secret to a good haircut?
A good haircut makes you feel confident. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know, when you get that haircut, you're going to walk out that barbershop, you're going to look in the mirror, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's it. And you're going to tip the barber.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern on the ESPN app and on the SEC Network.
Take the starting lineup with you wherever you go. Download the WCDT smartphone app in your Google Play and Apple App Store. Now, back to the guys.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio, 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester. So I want to throw this out there in case you're listening and you've got young kids. My children no longer have, like, video games at the house.
How's that been going?
It's been interesting. But after the initial withdrawals, and they're allowed to play them kind of like on the weekends and stuff, but after the initial withdrawals, since that time, it has been kind of cool to see the transformation.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But yesterday, I came home and I was immediately a little bit concerned. Now, we have trivia coming up with Scotty at 7:40. But I came home, Chewy, and they were in the yard. All four of my boys were in the yard sharpening sticks.
Oh, boy. That was awfully fast.
Yeah.
We didn't get to that until you got real bored, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I say that it's been going well, but I'm concerned that they may be planning some type of takeover.
Some coup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're stacking up, and I'm not just talking about, what is it with kids? I'm not just talking about like they each had to have their own warrior stick.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm talking about they as a group were sharpening sticks and building up like a stick weapon inventory.
Oh, they're making an armory.
Yeah, and it wasn't sharp enough. The stick was not sharp enough until they could, standing just over the ground and kind of throwing it into the ground, which is, they're 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're standing that high. It wasn't sharp enough in their mind until it stuck straight in the ground. And they're using like the back steps. We got these concrete steps in the back to file the points down on these.
So they didn't even have pocket knives or anything sharpening things.
No. They weren't going. No.
Okay.
Only one of them's really old enough or trustworthy enough to have a pocket knife, and even him.
But still, like the ethic to go like, you know what, we can't have a knife. I'll just use the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that takes a lot of work.
Yeah. They went full on Native American.
Oh my gosh, it's like Lord of the Flies.
That's what I'm saying.
You better watch out. They're going to Ides of March you.
That's what I'm saying.
Dad, come outside. We want to talk to you about something.
They always say it's not what you expect that gets you. And I wouldn't expect like 5 or 6 sticks to impale me in the back.
Yeah.
As thrown by my young children.
It's like the Indiana Jones, that guy standing there.
Yeah.
You just like Katie's going to walk outside and you're just going to face plant with little arrows in your back one day.
I mean, they went it only took them like a week. They went from video games to, what would you call those?
They immediately went feral.
Feral.
Yeah.
They're little barbarians.
Because we may be the last generation of kids who even, and it was kind of rare, but like to go out and just be gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we would go out in the forest and we'd make like little forts and that kind of thing. But we got there after we'd done everything else.
Right.
These kids were just like, all right, no video games.
Week 1.
It's war.
Yeah.
They're prepping.
They immediately chose violence.
You know what? I admire them because it sounds like they'll be just fine in the apocalypse.
Yeah, I think so.
I have faith in that.
I am concerned about our cats, but yes.
Well, the cats would be good eating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why you got to fatten up those cats.
But we don't need to eat the cats right now.
Oh, well, that's true. I'm just saying.
We can have lasagna tomorrow. Why we got to kill cats?
I didn't say to do that. I said just keep them around like livestock. You know what I'm saying?
Ah.
It's like why you keep me around, I'm sure.
You said it, not me. All right, let's go out to Scotty. We'll do trivia. It is trivia with the Oasis. And I got to tell you, I'm very impressed. Every time, and Katie does it often, every time she brings me back some Oasis, I'm very impressed with what they do. I scarfed some chicken from over there yesterday. Good morning, Scotty. How are you today?
Good morning.
So it is Thursday, which means trivia over there at the Oasis, but it's not for much longer.
That's right. You got till April the 9th.
That's it.
So it's coming up quick, and we'll be opening drafts and watercrafts April the 20th. So,
well, with the trivia tonight, we've said this many a time. You're going to want to get there a little bit early, and anybody who's ever been out there knows it fills up quickly.
That's right. We do have a big crowd for trivia. And if you want to call in ahead, we like to have them called in by around lunchtime that you would like to have a table. We'd be happy to save you one for trivia tonight.
All right.
What do you guys have for on the lunch buffet today?
Well, today's lunch, we always do chicken and dressing on Thursdays with our meatball and gravy, mashed potatoes, green beans, macaroni and cheese, boiled cabbage, fried okra, coleslaw, and our Oreo Delight. And then, tomorrow is our fried catfish. We do our lunch buffet every Tuesday through Friday starting at 11 a.m. We got a lot of entertainment going on this weekend. Tonight's trivia starts at 6:30. Tomorrow night, we got the In-Laws Band. They'll be playing from 7:30 to 11:30. And then Saturday night, we got Off the Hook Band, and they'll be here from 7:30 to 11:30 also.
Very cool.
Got a lot of stuff. We got entertainment going on all the way till we close, so for the season.
Very cool stuff. And for folks who maybe haven't had a chance to make it out there to the Oasis yet for this season, so to speak, I got to tell you, you're really missing out. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, Scotty, because what's going to happen is if they do try it between now and then, they're gonna absolutely fall in love with the place, like Katie and I have. Katie goes over there. She's got to be like 3 or 4 times a week and gets lunch. But that's what happens. It's so good, and it's at such a price that you cannot beat. You literally, for that lunch buffet, I dare you to try and find a place where you can get a better value in town.
I know it's $11.99 all you can eat. I mean, that includes dessert. You got 2 meats to choose from. You got 8 vegetables. So it's a great value for $11.99. You can't go to a fast food restaurant and get that value and get that amount of food, and you can eat all you want. And we also do to-go. So if you want to come in and fix a to-go box and take with you, it's quick. You could be in and out in 15 minutes. Once you walk in, the food's ready and start fixing your plates. That makes it very convenient, too, if you're on a lunch break and need to get back to work quick. So
yeah, Katie runs over there, and she gets over there and back in like 5 minutes. It's nothing.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, I got before we hear your trivia question, I got a quick thing that I learned that I wanted to pass along to you this morning from a trivia perspective. So yesterday, Aaron Judge struck out 4 times, which is apparently called a golden sombrero. And it raised the question, what would a 5 strikeout game be? And we learned that it's a platinum?
Platinum sombrero.
Platinum sombrero. I don't know why a hat trick is 3 times anything. I don't know why it turns into a sombrero at that point, but there you go.
That might be a good trivia question. Ask why they call it that.
Yeah. But all right, brother. So trivia tonight, and the number, I'm going to throw it out there before you ask the trivia question. You can't have one in the last 30 days, but it's 931-967-3500. Load that into your phone, 931-967-3500. And Scotty, what will they win if they get the trivia question right here on the show this morning?
They can call in. They'll win a lunch buffet that they can redeem either today or tomorrow.
Tremendous stuff. And like we said, they can't have one in the last 30 days. All right, brother. And this is going to be one of the questions tonight at trivia, so you're going to want to remember the answer. What is our trivia question for today?
We're going to do a March Madness question since it's going on right now.
All right. I like it.
All right. The lowest seed to ever win the entire March Madness was a number 8 seed. What team was that won the all of it, and they were a number 8 seed?
You know, I should know this. I knew the seed number. I can't remember the name, but if you know 931-967-3500, if you know the team name, then jump in and give us your answer. I'm excited to find out because this is a sports question that I don't know, and that's not very often that happens.
You know, they say that 64% of the number 1 seeds win it all.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing that I've realized in recent years is like analytics and some of the other things have gotten so much better. Again, the number is 931-967-3500. All of that has gotten so much better that I think that the seeding is more accurate as well. So I feel like in recent years, the last 2 or 3 years, we haven't had as many upsets necessarily because they're doing a better job seeding these teams. But we may have stumped them this morning, Scotty. You stumped me. 931-967-3500. What is the lowest seeded team, which was an 8 seed? What team was it?
Here we go.
That won the March Madness?
Got a regular here.
All right.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, man, it's Doug.
Hey, Doug, what'd you guess?
I'm thinking I'm driving to school right now, but I thought it was Villanova.
Villanova?
That's correct.
That's correct, Doug.
All right.
I remember it in high school.
All right.
That's been a while.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, congratulations, Doug, and you know where you're going for lunch here either today or tomorrow.
I'm right down the road. That'll be good.
All right. Well, thank you for your call, brother.
Say it.
That was in 1985 when that happened.
Oh.
Doug Garrett getting a call and getting the answer correctly. And by the way, if you need a vehicle, go see Doug. Good job by you. That was a tremendous question there, Scotty. Good job by you.
So remember, tonight the answer is Villanova.
Villanova. All right, brother. Well, have a great weekend.
Well, y'all too, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. That is
all right, see ya. Bye.
Scotty out at the Oasis. Go see him and enjoy some Oasis while you can, my friends. It won't be long now. All right. Quick break here. We'll wrap up the hour when we come back.
Okay.
It is the starting lineup on a Therapy Thursday. ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9, WCDT Winchester.
Why choose More Courtney Funeral Home? Well, they're a fifth-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. More Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. More Courtney Funeral Home.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
The future of healthcare starts here. The Southern Tennessee Regional Health System, Winchester and Suwannee, are joining the High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas, a health network serving communities across the state. We're working together to expand access, improve clinical quality, and keep you close to home throughout your care journey. Your favorite providers aren't going anywhere. It's the same care you know and trust, now with a new name. High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
Looking to make a difference in Franklin County? The Franklin County Prevention Coalition works every day to build a safer, healthier community, free from substance misuse. Through education, outreach, and strong local partnerships, they empower parents, schools, and leaders to prevent addiction and support positive choices. From youth programs to community events, the coalition is here for you. Learn more or get involved today at fcpctn.org. Together, we prevent.
This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio, 1340, 1069 WCDT, Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy. So, Chewy, my son Jack, he's my oldest boy. He is 12 years old. He's a sixth grader up at West, and his mom lives up there in Tullahoma. He's up there. I'm desperately trying to get him like an NIL deal to come down here and play in Franklin County. I'm not trying to recruit him. He's my son. I'm just trying to get him down here because I can keep my mitts on him a little bit. But I've coached him for the last 3 years in tackle football, and man, he's one of those kids that's just fun to watch play ball because he loves it. He's not the most athletic kid. He's not the biggest kid. He's one of the strongest kids, and he loves hitting. But he's 130 pounds. Now, I was, as a freshman, he and I are built different. He's like a lineman, a linebacker. He is just a hitting machine. I was a wide receiver / I was really a tight end, but I was too small, so they moved me out to wide receiver. Wasn't fast and athletic enough to play wide receiver. I could catch, but I was 140 pounds as a freshman, 145 as a sophomore, 150-ish as a junior, and I graduated around 160. It wasn't until after school when I became a man and put on some weight, okay? He's 130 pounds, and I'm like 200 now. And the other day, I'm walking down the hall, and he started to test me because he knows he's closing. His feet are as big as mine. Wears the same size shoe.
He's checking the pecking order.
Yeah, so he wanted to press some buttons. And here's the thing: if you're a father and you have a son, you know exactly where I'm going with this. Now, Jack is a lineman, both sides of the ball, offensive and defensive side of the ball. Played center for the last 3 years. So he starts to kind of block me, and he's gonna block me. He gets low, and he kind of pushes me back because I wasn't anticipating. And so finally, he pushes me back a couple of feet. So finally, I realize what's going on. He heard that softball dad called me small, and he's testing my manhood. So I finally lock in. I lock in, chat. And I kid you not when I tell you that not only did I get down and I started pushing him back up the floor, but when he realized this wasn't going to go the way that he wanted it to go, At that point, I picked him up, flipped him upside down, and carried him down the hallway like he was still a little ragdoll 4-year-old. And I showed that kid, that 12-year-old, what's up. But any dad listening, you're laughing. Any dad listening knows you got to enforce that dominance, and you got to keep your finger on it, man. And so it wasn't nothing. When I picked him up, he was kind of like, that was not a big surprise. But when I flipped him over, and he was upside down at 130 pounds, and I'm walking him now down the hallway. Yeah, he recognized.
Yeah, you showed that 12-year-old.
I showed that 12-year-old. Now, I tell you all that to tell you this, and this is why it's so important. I remember going back to when I was probably 13, 14 years old. I was probably right around that 8th grade, freshman year, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather he's like 85 years old, he still works like 15-hour days. Wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning to read his Bible for 2 hours. He's in the office before 6 o'clock. I mean, he's insane. But he still goes hard. Now, about 25 years ago, I was getting into it with my dad. And my dad is diabetic. He's got, and my dad's like, I don't know. He was talking to his dad, and he's like, I don't know what to do with the kid. He's just, I can't control him. I was an emotional teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to do what I want, Dad. I'm a man now, Dad. All those kinds of things.
Yeah.
My grandfather came over, and he said, so you think you're a tough guy now, huh? You think you can take me? My grandfather, I said yes.
Absolutely.
My grandfather and I wrestled. Now, when I say we wrestled, I tried to wrestle him. He did not use his arms. He pinned me to the ground by my head with his head. He beat me in a wrestling match with only his head just to show me. I mean, he went full-on Reacher Alan Richardson, do not mess around with me. And I realized that day that I had some growing still left to do.
Sure.
And he put me kind of in my place.
Right.
By kind of, I mean really. And that's what I related to. Sometimes you got to reinforce the dominance, Chewy. Now, I don't know what that looks like in your household. But for me, I only have to take out one of them. As long as I am over Jack, the rest of them will fall in line. They know what's up. It's just like a herd mentality, like the animals. You get the lion, and the one lion challenges the other, or the bears, or whatever. And once you pick him up and flip him over and show him what's up, and he realizes, then he goes back to his room and he tells the other ones what happened.
The defeated lion leaves you.
Well, he says, you don't want to mess with that guy. He's crazy.
The lion does not worry about his receding hairline.
No. No. Golly.
Well,
just telling you.
Yeah. What is with that, by the way? That old man, that dad strength. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they're not like built and you can't tell, but for some reason they're freakishly strong.
My brothers comment on that all the time. All of my younger brothers, none of them have kids yet.
Yeah.
And they're like, Joe's just got that dad strength. I don't know where it comes from. I think what it comes from is when you have kids and you start just carrying around a 10-pound baby all the time, from right arm to left arm. It builds up your forearms, your shoulder, your back, all the things.
It's got that tensile strength.
Right.
It's not necessarily muscles.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think that's part of it.
All right.
It's interesting, though, that women don't really build up that same... I guess they build it up in other places.
Doug Garrett comes in, and he says, I will never forget the day that I lost leverage as a father when I looked up at my 6'3" son, his sophomore season of football at FC, and realized that he had surpassed me physically.
Yeah.
I wonder, because I'm like much, much bigger than both of my parents. I wonder if there was that, because I've never considered myself like, I've never did that with my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I wonder if they ever noticed, I'm sure they did. They just never commented on it.
Well, and to Doug's point, that's why That's why we have firearms. That's why you got to be like, what is it, 20 or 18 or 20 or 21 or whatever to buy because that still gives the dad a little bit of leverage over the kids.
No. This is one trip to Bass Pro Shop, easy fix.
Yeah?
Cattle prod.
See
Easy. Easy
that baseball
fix.
bat over there? That's, again, looking at Chewy, looking at my boys. That's what it's there for.
There you go.
All
right.
You never know when you're going to have to break in case of emergency. All right, we'll get a break in here. Top of the hour coming up. It is the starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9, WCDT Winchester.
Hey Franklin County, when you need quick cash, a new guitar, or that perfect engagement ring, swing into KK's Loans Music and Jewelry. With Manchester, Tullahoma, and McMinnville locations, KK's delivers fast, confidential pawn loans and the region's biggest selection of new and used instruments, from PV amps to Pearl drum kits, plus sparkling certified pre-owned jewelry in gold, all priced to move. Buy, sell, trade, or borrow, whatever gets you back on track. KK's is a proud sponsor of Franklin County Athletics, supporting every sport, every season.
Franklin Farmers Co-op in Winchester is your one-stop shop. From top quality feed and seed to fencing, equipment, and even pet supplies. We have everything you need to keep your farm or home running smoothly. Our knowledgeable team is here to help you every step of the way. Stop by Franklin Farmers Co-op, conveniently located at 2229 Deckard Boulevard, or give us a call at 931-967-5511. Franklin Farmers Co-op, rooted in your success, growing with your community.
Hey Rebel Nation, Dr. Orr and the caring team at Winchester Family Dentistry are proud to back every Franklin County athlete this season. From first grade flossers to varsity veterans, we believe healthy smiles build confident champions. Whether you need a routine cleaning, a last minute sports card, or a full smile makeover, we've got you covered right here in Winchester. Call 931-967-4143 or visit WinchesterFamilyDentistryTN.com to schedule. Winchester Family Dentistry, keeping Franklin County smiling one game at a time.
Looking for a reliable car at an affordable price? Stop by Money Down Motors here in Deckard. We specialize in quality pre-owned vehicles with low down payments and flexible financing options. No matter your credit history, drive away today with a car you'll love and a payment plan that works for you. Visit us at 1945 Deckard Boulevard or call 931-962-3404 for more info. At Money Down Motors LLC, your ride is waiting.
Domino's is proud to sponsor Franklin County Athletics, and the Winchester Domino's is locally owned by a Franklin County alum, and they've got hot deals you'll love. Like the perfect combo, 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas with Parmesan and cinnamon bread bites for just $19.99. Or a large New York style pizza with 3 toppings for $10.99. And make sure to try Domino's best deal ever. Any pizza with 7 toppings for just $9.99, and stuffed crust is just $4 more. Order now at Domino's.com and enjoy Domino's at the concession stand every Rebel game night.
I'm Kristen Abraham, curator of Abraham Art Gallery right on the square in downtown Winchester. Looking for something unique? Every month brings a new featured artist, original art to inspire and share with the community. Come in, explore, and discover art that's ready to go home with you today. Whether you're redecorating, collecting...
Good morning, Deckard.
Good morning, WCDT.
How are you guys out there this morning?
We are wonderful this fine morning. We've just got one more day until spring break, so we are just hanging in there.
Let's go, spring break.
All right, to celebrate, a little bit of an early celebration, we're going to practice for tomorrow. We need to do a really good pledge today. How about that?
We've got it covered.
All right.
Second grade, you ready? All right.
Let's hear it.
Good morning, Franklin County. Please join Deckard Elementary as we
stand salute and pledge. We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now that's what I'm talking about. Fantastic pledge this morning.
All right, we've got Mr. Dominic here with our joke.
Go ahead.
What is a pirate's favorite letter?
I don't know.
X, R, not R, X marks the spot.
Oh!
They are more than treat.
They like R more than treasure?
Yeah.
That was a cute one. Good one, Jeckard. All right, y'all.
All right, thank you.
Well, y'all have a wonderful day out there, okay?
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
All right, so spring break, that's awesome.
Spring break 2026. Any plans, Joe Abraham?
W's in the chat for spring break. Does anybody? I don't have any plans for spring break because keep in mind that again, the ex-wife is up in Tullahoma, and all those kids are up there.
Right.
The 15 million kids I got up there are up there, and then Crosby is going to be on spring break next week.
Yeah.
The other kids were on spring break last week, and I'm going to have Crosby next week, but the other kids are not on spring. So it's just, can we match the spring breaks up?
Just surroundingly in all the counties to link them up?
Yeah. Can we just get on the same page with the spring breaks? I don't know. It's just a thought. Just a thought.
I remember my my godbrother, he went to Tullahoma, and they had weird back in the day where they got like
Tullahoma.
2 weeks off of everything, but then their summer was short.
I want to paint this picture for you, people. Tullahoma can't even get they can't even figure it out within their own county. They have to have their own school district.
Yeah.
It can't even fall in line with Coffee County. They have to have their own thing.
I just remember being frustrated because our summer, his summer would be short.
Yeah.
And then but our breaks would be short, so we would never link up. You know what I mean? And so he would be like, he'd be texting me in the middle of school, being like, "What are you doing today?" And I'm like, "Math." You jerk. I didn't say jerk either.
Okay, so yesterday, Chewy, we asked the poll presented by Benear Law, Divorce and Custody. We asked whether or not red should be considered an official color going forward.
Yeah.
I want to take a little side trip down this lane here and recap some of the comments and what I discovered. We also asked people to post pictures prior to the show of gear and uniforms and things like that going back, going way back. Now, what we discovered was eye-opening. Let me start by recapping the responses from the poll question, which we had 219 votes in the poll question.
219?
219.
That's amazing.
76% of them said, no, stick with navy, gray, and white. The other 24% said, yes, make red an official color. Now, what's interesting about the argument, and you can come at it either way from both sides, but Chewy, people are so passionate about this, and they will claim, red's always been there. And then you've got other people who will claim, yeah, but the official school colors, red hasn't always been there, and the official school colors are only blue, gray, and white.
Mm-hmm.
They're both right. They're both right. The official school colors are blue, the navy blue, that steel gray, and a white. Red came in as a nod to like a coach and some other things. It kind of like slipped in there at one point along the way. And early on, in fact, Stanley Bean submitted pictures of his, I think they're his, somebody's, baseball uniform and football uniform from the early 70s, like 1971. The baseball uniform looks just like the baseball uniform that they've got today, where it's the pinstripes with the cutoff. They've got multiple versions, and no, the baby blue isn't being used right now. People need to stop freaking out about things like blackout uniforms and baby blue uniforms and things like that. Those are specialty uniforms. Don't get yourself all wrapped up in the axle with that stuff. Enjoy those things, right? But he submitted a picture, and it's got rebels across the chest. It's got pinstripes, cut-off sleeves.
Which you're all about.
Which I'm all about.
When you bring that back, too, while we're at it.
And so they've got a uniform nowadays that looks just like it. Okay? Now, it had red in it. But at the same exact time, the football uniform, think Penn State.
Yeah, that's the one you showed me yesterday.
Think Penn
wasn't
State.
it?
Yeah, it was, and he showed the white uniform. This one was the white version, which would be the road version, I believe. Back then, I don't know. They may have used white at home. White, navy numbers, navy collar, no red. No red whatsoever. Now, what I was told by Stanley was that at one point they went like through all of the 60s. There was no red in the football uniform at all.
Wow.
And it wasn't until later that it kind of came along and became a part of the uniform as an accent. Now, my question relates to the fact that red has always kind of snuck into uniforms along the way here and there. So my question was, is it time to just make it official and make it one of the official colors? It can be an accent color, but it's not in our official color palette. And there were a lot of opinions back and forth either way within the conversation. A lot of people just think stick with the blue and the gray. They love that, right? A few years ago, Doug Garrett posted a picture, 2014 senior night. Jim Carr sent his kids out there onto the field, all red tops.
Like almost to the point like they look like Gators.
They look like North. And people lost their mind. Now, there were some responses that I think people missed kind of what I was asking. One of them said, I can't think of a good reason to change it. Don't change things that don't need changing. Now, again, going back to that, and I responded, change what? Change what? I didn't say change anything. I said what we're looking for is clarity. There was another response that said, stop trying to change everything in our Rebel Pride heritage. It's Rebel Pride, or is Rebel Pride even a thing anymore?
He's got some red in there.
There you go. There's some red in there.
Oh, there you go. Whoa!
Oh, that's a lot of red. That's too much red.
That's cheer dad.
You're gonna
right
get
there, yeah.
You can get hammered for that much red.
Yeah,
Johnny. So he said, stop trying to change everything in our Rebel Pride heritage. Is Rebel Pride even a thing anymore? To which I responded, and this is where the conversation and the argument comes up. This is why it's important, because people do have pride in what it means to be a Franklin County Rebel. The funny thing is, the ironic thing is, that depending on what team and what era you were on, you may connect with the blue and the gray only, or you may connect with the red. I responded to him. I said, I hear you, but let's be honest about where things actually stand. Rebel Pride, and this is what I want everybody to understand, it did not just suddenly get threatened this week. Guys, it's been fading for years. We've had this problem for years, long before I ever jumped on and started talking about it. Rebel Pride, we're talking about attendance, we're talking about energy, we're talking about the identity, the brand, all of that has slipped. And that's not an opinion, that is our current reality, right? And we're trying to build that back. Not only are we trying to build it back, Chewy, to where it was, but as I'm looking at these responses and these pictures, we're trying to build it back stronger and better, solidify it. And that's where the question on the red comes in. Let's solidify who we are as rebels. Does that include the red or not?
Right. Just asking for a more poignant, like when we talk about ourselves.
Right.
Who are we?
What do we stand for? I'm not trying to erase anything. I'm trying to define it, because it has never been clearly defined. What is Rebel Pride? What does that look like? What do we rally around? What do we stand for as a program and as a community? That was what I am trying to help define in asking these questions, guys. I'm simply trying to build back what you guys are talking about. That Rebel Pride, let's solidify it. Let's make it into something concrete that people have to believe in again. That's not taking and tearing it down. To me, that's, hey, as a community, let's take responsibility for it. In fact, let's protect it. By identifying what it is, now we have something that we can all rally around. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. Stop getting so emotional. You read the question, you immediately jump into stop trying to change everything. Who's trying to change what? Where in Franklin County has traditionally used navy, gray, and white, but red has been a part of uniform and gear for years. Should red become an official school color? Where in that am I saying that I want to change anything? Why are you getting so pressed? Why are you so upset? Why are you so obsessed with me? No, why are you so upset, guys, about us trying to just define this? Let's figure out what it is. That's all we're trying to do.
I would say direct that passion that you have to respond emotionally like that into the pride that you have for your area. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's what I want, that passion, and I want it put towards something constructive.
Right, yeah.
Because here's the thing. Here's the reality. And this is what nobody wants to talk about. But let me put it this way. How many print shops, embroidery shops, and all of these types of places are there? There's a lot of them, right? They just pop up. They're all over the place. They come, they go. There's some up in Tullahoma. There's the Action Graphics is come and go. It's up in Tullahoma. You got 931 Graphics. You got Off the Hook. You got all of these places, and they get an embroidery machine. They get a direct-to-garment printer. They get a screen printer, whatever they want. And, guys, you know what they can do? They slap an FC on whatever they want, in whatever font they want, with whatever colors they want, and they call it Franklin County gear, and they sell it, and they profit off of it. And you know who doesn't benefit from it? The students. The athletic programs. Think about that in terms of, like, college athletics. You can't get away with that with Tennessee and with Alabama. They've got trademark rights and all these things that go on with that. There's no protection. And it's not just about from a financial perspective, Chewy. When I say they can slap any version of FC on anything, and they can put a navy and gray FC out there, or a red and navy FC out there, and pump it out there into the community, that can be any type of design that they want, and that's now Franklin County's brand. You just let some random person, define what FC is for FC. There's no protection, guys, and that's what I'm trying to say, is that's how you get brand degradation. That's how the brand collapses. That's how you lose an identity, is you let anybody and everybody define it. I'm not doing anything that anybody else isn't doing. You don't walk into a print shop and say, well, that's the wrong font. Why is that here? Do you have authorization to sell that? No, you're not pissed off at them. I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is, let's come together and figure out what that looks like before we start putting it on all this kind of gear. So that's where my passion lies. I am in marketing, branding, all of these things, and I look at it as more than just degrading the brand from a visual aspect. I look at it as it's degrading the culture.
It's unregulated. But that passion can be, I'm glad that people have the conscience to want to wear that, the logos and everything like that. So it's obvious that people in the county have enough of a passion to say, I would like to have this gear. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's a wise move for us to say, okay, let's all rally under the same symbol, the same principles.
I'm not upset at people for getting upset. Get upset. But get upset about the right thing. Direct it in the right way. Like Tullahoma. If you want to get upset at somebody, you can just always stay upset at Tullahoma.
Yeah, it's always an option.
All right, we're going to break in here. It is. Or stay upset at me. I don't care. It is the starting lineup. ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Hey Rebel Nation, Dr. Orr and the caring team at Winchester Family Dentistry are proud to back every Franklin County athlete this season. From first grade flossers to varsity veterans, we believe healthy smiles build confident champions. Whether you need a routine cleaning, a last minute sports card, or a full smile makeover, we've got you covered right here in Winchester. Call 931-967-4143 or visit WinchesterFamilyDentistryTN.com to schedule. Winchester Family Dentistry, keeping Franklin County smiling one game at a time.
If you're competing with 3 other businesses in the same category, you're not advertising, you're fighting for attention. At ESPN Radio Winchester, our top partners don't outshout their competitors, they eliminate them through partnerships that offer category protection and exclusivity. Fewer competitors, stronger recall, better results. That's how local advertising is supposed to work. Learn how smart advertising creates a competitive advantage with ESPN Radio 1340-1069 WCDT Winchester.
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Bennett's Pharmacy.
Starting off our morning in the low to mid-60s and then warming up today all the way up to 81 degrees, bright and sunny. Got some light winds coming in from 5 to 10 miles per hour from the southwest to keep you nice and cool on this very beautiful summer-like day. Stay tuned to ESPN Radio Winchester 1340-1069 for all of your sunny weather updates.
Looking for more than just prescriptions? Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester has it all. Grab a bite from our menu, browse our boutique for one-of-a-kind finds, and sip on a Bloody Marty that's worth talking about, all in one stop. Located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, Bennett's Pharmacy is your unexpected destination for great food, fun shopping, and so much more. Call us at 931-967-2777 or come see what everyone's raving about.
Joe had to mix up some more pre-workout, but he's ready to go another round. Back to the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio Winchester.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340-1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham alongside Chewy.
Got a lot of responses here in the comment section.
Okay.
Katie, well, first off, Brett says that he likes a Papa Red, and the red gives a little bit of an accent. And Katie says, preach Joe, a house divided against itself will fall. People in this county who feel pressed all the time are the ones who keep the negativity alive and keeps the recognition from the students. Doug Garrett says red is a trigger for some reason for some folks. And Brett Crabtree came back saying, if it didn't come from FC Quarterback Club, it's not official FC gear. Support the Quarterback Club. And then Jay Cool saying, good morning, Hokie Rollers. Good morning, Jay Cool.
Good morning, Jay. So... yes, what I would say is definitely if you want to buy gear, and I know that the Quarterback Club is in the process of working on their newest gear to roll out for the upcoming season for spring ball and all the things. So if you really want to support the program, keep this in mind, buying your gear through the Quarterback Club directly or through the school directly, that ensures that money goes back into, specifically the Quarterback Club, goes right back into the football program. Right. It's like when you go to the concession stands, at certain games, if it's a football game, when you go buy your concessions from the concession stand, that goes to support the band boosters. Even at the basketball games, there's one booster for one or there's one concession stand for one thing and one for another thing. That money, they're doing that to try and generate revenue and support so that they can then support our athletes or our cheerleaders or our, we're going to need new band uniforms very soon. There are people who are very upset about the fact that the band uniforms are 15 years old. I will say that's about the lifespan. I know it's been a long time. It's a little different. Football uniforms, our football uniforms go 5 years, you know, and they're football uniforms. There's a lot different. But it's 15 years on a band uniform. There's a reason. They're so flippin' expensive. You're looking at $700, $800, $900 a uniform.
Jeez.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. But it all goes back to support. If we find supporters within the community, if we find corporate sponsors, if we find individuals to write big checks, do you want to know the difference between Franklin County's facilities and Shelbyville's facilities right now? About what was a check that they wrote?
Like $15 million?
It was $15 million they got from Cooper Steel. And then they were able to turn around, and they're building indoor facilities and this, that, and the other thing, which, again, probably Cooper Steel helping them build. You know, I don't know what we need to do to get Nissan to write a check. Doesn't need to be $15 million. But that's the point.
Right.
Is consider what that would do in terms of bringing athletes, keeping athletes, bringing coaches. Like, we're trying to figure out ways to get more coaching stipends and things like that. Just the basics. We're trying to figure out ways. Let me put this into perspective. They're building multi-million-dollar facilities. We're trying to figure out how to literally keep the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is all this talk about the LED lights that need to be replaced. It's going to cost $900,000 to replace all the fields that need to be replaced. $800,000, right? We're trying to figure out how to manage funds in order to do that. Doesn't mean that we care any less. Cooper Steel came in, they wrote a check. You know, it was a part of their cause marketing, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I think what upsets me, Chewy, the most is sometimes we get people who get involved and they come in from the perspective of they don't bring solutions, they just bring more problems or complaints.
Right. They just want to talk about the issues, not solve them.
Right. And anybody who's ever worked in management or leadership or anything like that, if you've been in the military, whatever, wherever, I mean, this goes up and down. Just welcome to life, my friend. If you've got one of those people in your life that all they do is they come and they just bring problems, don't be that guy or that girl. You know, if you've got a problem, say, hey, I've identified a problem. Oh, by the way, I've also identified a solution. Or, hey, guys, I think we might be going to run into a problem.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a problem here coming up. I don't have a solution yet. Can we workshop one? I mean, don't just come with the problem. Find a solution. Bring the solution. Come with ideas. All right. I think we may have just had somebody walk through the door.
We did.
Oh, yeah. There's a big hulking man in the corner. I'm going to set him up behind a mic. We'll get a quick break in here and be back on the other side with Coach Reed. It is the starting lineup. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
Spring is in the air, and so are fresh new savings at Furniture Merchandise Outlet, FMO, right here in Tullahoma. Ready to refresh your space? From living rooms and bedrooms to dining sets and mattresses, FMO has the styles you want at prices you'll love. No long waits, no sticker shock. Just take it home today. Visit them at 105 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma or browse anytime at FMOTN.com. Furniture Merchandise Outlet, where spring cleaning turns into a spring upgrade.
Spring is here, and it's time to wear it out loud at T-Shirt Spot in Tullahoma. Whether you need custom tees for your business, school, team, or just something fun for the season, T-Shirt Spot has you covered. Literally. Fresh designs, bold colors, and quality you can feel. Stop by 909 South Washington Street in Tullahoma or check them out online at tshirtspot.com. T-Shirt Spot, where your spring style starts.
Winchester. When our local athletes give it their all, Domino's is here to refuel the team. Swing by Domino's on South College and build your own pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 each. After the game, feed the whole squad. Grab a medium 2-topping Parmesan stuffed crust pizza, bread bites, and dips for $17.99. Or go big with 2 large pizzas and bread bites for $24.99. Quick combos, cold drinks, and deals starting at $5.99. At 668 South College Street, Domino's is proud to support our local athletes, on and off the field.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The Franklin County Rebelettes snapped a 3-game losing streak Tuesday night with a 7-3 road win over Lawrence County. With the victory, Franklin County improves to 7-9 overall and 2-1 in district play. The Rebelettes will return home Thursday to host Giles County with first pitch scheduled for 5:30 p.m. In Winchester, the community is preparing to honor one of its most iconic natives. The Tennessee Department of Tourist Development will join local leaders to unveil a Tennessee Music Pathways marker recognizing entertainment legend Dinah Shore. Born Frances Fannie Shore in Winchester, Dinah Shore rose to national prominence as a pop singer and television pioneer. She was named Billboard Magazine's top female vocalist on disc jockey shows and top-selling artist in 1946. Her career included hit songs like I'll Walk Alone, The Gypsy, and Buttons and Bows, along with successful television programs including The Dinah Shore Show and The Dinah Shore Chevy Show. Shore earned 6 Emmy Awards and was inducted into the Emmy Hall of Fame in 1992. The marker unveiling is set for Thursday, March 26th at noon at 107 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester. The event will include remarks and interview opportunities with city and state leaders, as well as members of the Shore family. Meanwhile, Franklin County schools earned major recognition in STEM education. The district secured 4 of the 6 TVA STEM grants awarded within the Duck River Electric service area. Grants were awarded to April Green at Cowan Elementary, Sue Heaton at Deckard Elementary, Leslie Jones at Huntland School, and Jessica Guess at South Middle School. The combined $17,500 in funding will support hands-on learning projects for students across the county. For more local news and sports updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
Tune into the Afternoon Handoff with Johnny Hand, weekday afternoons from 2 to 4, right here on ESPN Radio Winchester. Now, back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. Joe Abraham in studio with Chewy, and we get a chance now to sit down and talk with new Franklin County high school football coach, Coach Chuck Reed. Coach, good morning. I appreciate you coming in today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, first question for you. I know it's probably been a whirlwind couple of weeks. How has this first stretch as head coach of the Rebels been for you?
It's been great. I mean, everybody's been super receptive. The Booster Club is certainly behind what we're doing and starting to grow in numbers. Although for those of you out there, we need more people.
Yeah.
And then spent a lot of time just getting, completing the varsity schedule and sub-varsity schedules and freshman schedule, that kind of stuff, and trying to find coaches. So we've been pretty much going straight out with that stuff. And then we have the boys for an hour and a half every day during athletic block, and they've done a great job in the weight room, a lot of gains, and moving in the right direction. So it's been exciting.
Well, and I've mentioned some of the details that you've kind of shared with me about reps being on the whistle and some of the small things, the attention to detail that you guys have even taken to the weight room. But talk about why, from your perspective, that is so important from day one to instill in these kids.
Developing the culture in the weight room and setting the expectation that the standard is you always do your best at whatever you do. That's the way you build a program, build a culture, and the kids are buying into it. The kids that are in the weight room, we have about 35 of them in there, and they are all in and doing things the right way, and they're held accountable. If somebody's behind on a rep or whatever, they have to do grass drills, and then we get right back to the weight. So they don't miss too many reps. They've been excellent as far as buying in and supporting each other. And we just had our max week this week. It's the third one, and they do about every 4 or 5 weeks. And the numbers, you can see a significant growth in their strength percentage-wise. Number of kids hitting certain benchmarks is really gone off the charts. It's been they're doing an awesome job in there. So
well, and that's huge for confidence as well as a part of the process. Even before they get back on the field, to see that they're making progress. I remember those days, and I remember the frustration of not seeing numbers go up at times, and to have coaches in there, to have staff in there that cares and takes the right approach to making sure that everybody is working together, supporting and rowing in the same direction, I think is super important. But, speaking of that culture, you got a chance to tell the guys yesterday about the spring game, and we've talked about it already this morning on the show in that first hour. But you guys rolled out yesterday news that Tullahoma, you guys are going to be playing, Franklin County is going to be playing Tullahoma in the spring game in just a few weeks, and we are going to be able to keep 100% of the proceeds from all Franklin County pre-sales, which is obviously goes directly to supporting the program. But you got to announce that to the guys. I can only imagine how much extra motivation and excitement that gave them.
Yeah, well, they were very excited about it. The idea of practicing 12 days with no sort of reward or game at the end of it, it's you're just going out there to work every day. This makes it a little bit different, where it amps up the intensity. They now have something to work toward, and it creates a sense of urgency, which we desperately need with especially where we're installing everything brand new, and to put everything in 11 practices and then play, it puts a lot of focus on what we have to learn and do over the next few weeks. So it's good for the kids,
right,
and for the program. And the other thing is, evaluation wise, we need to see what works and what doesn't work. Start creating depth charts and that sort of thing. And it's tough to get it when you don't have a lot of experienced players to play against. But when you're playing against somebody else's best, you can get a lot of evaluation done pretty quickly, which we need to do.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's a big difference between seeing a guys doing it in practice versus lining up against somebody else and doing it in a game type of atmosphere. And you mentioned only having 12 practices to do it and all that. I think one of the big questions a lot of people have is, where should my expectations be when I buy tickets and I go to support and I sit down at the spring game? What should I expect to see? Because, again, 12 practices, they've got to put it into perspective. But what are your priorities going to be over that 12 practice stretch?
Well, clearly we don't have enough time to get everything in.
Right.
So it will be, we have to pick the core pieces of our offense and defense that we're going to run. Keep it pretty vanilla or straightforward, but really get good at what we're doing, as opposed to trying to throw everything in and not being good at anything.
Yeah.
So it will be a watered down version of what we'll run in the fall, but it will certainly be the core pieces of what we're going to do in the fall, so we can evaluate the kids and doing that sort of stuff and teach off of it and get better. So that's what you'd expect to see. And it remains to be seen, what our quarterbacks can do. The guys that have been training, and they're doing a good job, but it's very different when all of a sudden people are coming at you and trying to hurt you, as opposed to sitting there at practice doing fundamental drills.
Yeah, for sure. And going into, again, getting your hands on these guys on the field for the first time and kind of seeing what they're capable of. Obviously, and we've talked about the challenges as far as depth and other things, but what do you think that looks from where we're at day one, or I don't know, what are we on, day 30-ish today, versus where you expect that through your process and your vision for the program, how it's going to look different 2, 3, 4 years from now? How do you want that path to look, and where do you ultimately want to get to from a depth and building up? You talked about vertical alignment as well, but just building up the program throughout the community.
Well, it starts with this year, and the seniors that are in the program, we're not pushing them off to the side by any stretch of the imagination. We're going to try to do everything we can to be successful now. And really what we want to see is when we play Tullahoma in that scrimmage, that we play exceptionally hard, that we're organized and disciplined and get out there and get after them. Down the road, building the program where, pouring into the younger kids as we also pour into the older kids, and doing that permanently, keeping kids in the program and, building our numbers. A school our size, I would hope we'd be consistently, well over 80 or 90 kids every year. And, just to have a ton of depth where we're not depending on ninth graders to come up and play against 17 and 18-year-olds. That unless a kid is absolutely a genetic anomaly. Exactly. They should really be playing, freshman football with their friends and creating that bond with that class. And in Tennessee, rules are a little bit different than in other places. We have that 8-quarter rule where a kid can play in 8 quarters in a week. So a kid who's kind of a tweener between freshman and JV, he can play in both games. A kid who's same with JV and varsity, where I'm coming from, you were on a team and you could not play it down of JV and then get into a varsity game. Otherwise, you were forfeiting. So you were on specific teams here, and that's why in Texas you didn't have to have a spring game against a different opponent, because the spring game was essentially, your juniors and seniors and a few sophomores who were competing for varsity spots. That's where they want a spot, because after that, you were on the JV1 team or the JV2 team or the varsity team. So we had 18 days, but the spring game, we do the food trucks and have it in the stadium, and a bunch of people would show up and all that. So they were playing for something. Just like this, we're playing Tullahoma, we're playing for something. You get to play an opponent and compete to see where you are. Yeah.
I mean, that's I've told that story about. I went to school in Florida, and it was a very similar situation. At North Fort Myers, there was only one kid that I ever saw as a freshman play on a varsity. It was Noel Devine, who went on to play at West Virginia. But outside of that, Fort Myers High School, North Fort Myers High School, you had the freshman team, you had the JV team, and you might have 3 to 5 sophomores that kind of made varsity team, and whether or not they play, they may or may not play, probably didn't get much playing time, but you were special if you were one of those guys. And it was because the program was so strong in the middle schools and even down to Pee Wee, the feeder programs were so strong. And that's part of your plan as well. It doesn't just start and end with the 4 years that you got your hands on them. No. It goes back to the middle school coaches. It goes even back to the Pee Wee programs. And you're in the process. You're working with those groups as well to, again, continue to prepare these kids for once they reach Franklin County High School.
Well, and that's one of the things we did with the spring, the way we set it up, is that I won't have all of our new coaches here yet because they're under contracts in other places. So it will be a smaller staff during the spring, but when our spring practices are over, I'll be going over to the middle schools and working with the kids over there as well, as will the other coaches on the high school staff. So we'll really start getting to know those kids at North and South, and working with the coaches on a daily basis, and their coaches will be at our practices to observe how we do things and learn the structure and methods that we use to teach football.
So you've had a chance, and I know that from the anecdotes that I've heard and the stories that I've heard from your interview process, you were watching film before you even got the job. As a part of the interview process, you kind of did some research and things, but you've had a chance to watch film and see some of these guys on tape. And I said this last year, there were 5 or 6 games where it felt like we had as much talent, maybe not as much depth, but as much starting talent on the field as the team that we were playing, and it didn't necessarily show. What do you think from a low-hanging fruit standpoint is one of the first areas that you think that we can improve at as a roster that's going to make one of the biggest differences in the win-loss column or in the long run?
Yeah, I was looking at the film more as a evaluative process as far as what our kids could do. What happened last year, that there were a multitude of reasons, and quite frankly, I'm not going to get into any of it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking to see how they fit into the systems that I've run in the past and feel comfortable doing. And I think there's some good talent up front. The kids that are in the backfield have been working exceptionally hard in the weight room, and they are significantly bigger and stronger and faster than they were last fall. So I'm excited about the running back room. The 3 kids that are working as quarterbacks in training right now, none of them were even on the roster last year, I don't believe.
Yeah.
So it's to compare last year to this year,
it's already
it's just very different.
Yeah.
It's just different philosophies and that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, too. I go back to, from an individual pieces standpoint, you look at these kids kind of in a silo, like a Logan Polkenhorn, who I absolutely fell in love with last year from an athletic standpoint. You look at some of these guys, and you're like, man, if we could find the right fit for some of these guys, they're really talented. And so you got some really good pieces to work with.
Yeah, there's certainly some kids. The thing that I really like is the kids are committed. They're not, there's no sense of entitlement, and because as odd as it would sound, when we went to Plano and they had been struggling for years, there was an incredible amount of entitlement among the varsity kids, despite the fact that they weren't having very much success.
Really?
And it's not like that with these kids. They roll up their sleeves and get to work every day, and they don't expect anything special. They want to try to be the best they can be. So it's a lot of fun with this group.
That's great. That's a good place to start, for sure. So we've got the spring game. We mentioned, again, Friday, May 8th is the day. 6 o'clock?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Now, the question in regard to tickets.
It's a good question because we haven't worked out all the details yet.
Okay.
So we're going to get paper tickets that we'll
okay.
be able to sell. We have to figure out how we're going to distribute them and get
okay.
them out to the public.
Okay.
But we should have tickets by the end of this week, and whatever we sell, we keep 100% of that money. It goes directly to the program, to the kids. So
perfect. And that's what I've kind of been saying is that we, as we know more details, we will release them on how you can get your hands on some of those tickets. Do we have even a price yet for them that we know that we're going to sell?
It'll be $5, and it's also $5 at the gate. But if you buy it at the gate, it goes to Tullahoma's program.
Right. Don't buy it at the gate, people. Make the stop. Whatever we got to do. I don't know. What do you think about, like, do we just set up on that day at the county line? Do we set up like we could get Sheriff Sam Davidson out there, and we'll just stop people as they're making their way across the county line. Hey, are you going to the game? Do you have tickets? All right, so it is a big deal. It is exciting. You mentioned it gives the guys something to play for. When we come back, we will wrap things up with Coach Chuck Reed in studio. We appreciate him stopping by this morning. It is the starting lineup. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Hey folks, I'm Johnny Hand from WCDT, the home for Franklin County Athletics. From Friday night football to every big game in between, we're proud to bring you all the action that keeps our community cheering. Want to be part of that excitement? We'd love to talk with you about advertising and other great opportunities to support our local athletes. So give us a call today at 931-967-2201 or stop by the station at 1201 South College Street right here in Winchester. WCDT Winchester. We are Franklin County.
Why choose Moore Courtney Funeral Home? Well, they're a fifth-generation funeral home taking care of the people of Franklin County since 1905. They're committed to serving you, dedicated to providing personalized, professional, compassionate service to help lighten your burden and help you out during these difficult times. More Courtney Funeral Home, 300 First Avenue Northwest in Winchester, 967-2222. More Courtney Funeral Home.
When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
The future of healthcare starts here. The Southern Tennessee Regional Health System, Winchester and Suwannee, are joining the High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas, a health network serving communities across the state. We're working together to expand access, improve clinical quality, and keep you close to home throughout your care journey. Your favorite providers aren't going anywhere. It's the same care you know and trust, now with a new name. High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
Got a project to tackle or a party to plan? Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester, or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
Here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester with Coach Reed in studio, wrapping things up. And, Coach, getting these, we talked about the pieces that you're working on identifying and that you've kind of got in place. And one of the great opportunities that you're going to have here in spring ball is, and you've mentioned this before, that you are comfortable coaching to your players' strengths and what they're capable of and how they can be most successful. And that's something that I think is a part of the process from what I've heard from you as far as when you guys get out there and see what these guys are capable of, that's kind of going to be when you determine what you look like from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, you've said 3-4, but offensively, it could be a different look depending on how the talent takes to what you put in front of them.
Yeah, right. So we'll have a base plan. We're allowed to work with 6 kids a day and coach them, and the other kids can be doing stuff on their own or agility drills or speed training or whatever it is. So the quarterbacks, I'm either working with them each day and the long snappers, or they work on their own each day.
Right.
Off to the side and just do their drills on their own. And on those days, I'll work with a group of linemen or a group of receivers. And again, I can work with 6 at a time. But offensive line-wise, I feel comfortable with schematically what I know we'll be able to do up front. The question will be, what we do formationally, and we'll have a plan, of course, to start spring practice. But can the kids that we have operate that plan, or do we need to move to something slightly different? But it won't affect what the offensive line has been being taught.
Right.
So, and certainly there are base elements that would translate to various styles of offensive play. So,
yeah.
What our kids can do, and how the quarterbacks can operate, and the running backs. And like I said before, I think we have pretty good talent in the running back room. Will dictate what we do schematically.
You mentioned being able to work with up to 6 guys in a day, and so what I would guess is, I mean, are you guys able to then, as you're working with them, and maybe you're going to rotate to a different group of 6 or whatever the case, I mean, you're probably giving them, hey, I'm not going to see you for the next 2, 3, 4 week, I don't know, days. In that time, here's what I want you guys to be able to work on your own, and you can kind of give them some direction, and then you're relying upon them to kind of take charge and do it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's exactly what it is. We'll teach the linemen, their base steps and say, hey, you got to work on this on your own now because, I can only work with you X number of days.
Right.
So, and it's 6 kids total. So I can't even start a group of 6 and then halfway through flip to another group of 6. It's 6 kids. That's it. So, so the ability to, coach everybody is not there.
Really?
At once, of course,
right,
or in one day. So yeah, it's a lot of we'll work with the quarterbacks and then be like, okay, this is what you need to be working on, and they've been great. They go home and work on it, and our snappers, same thing, and to me, special teams are really critical, and if you can't operate, your operations, your snapper to punter and snapper to holder, you're in trouble, and it can cause a lot of issues in a game. There's so much. Can be won or lost in the special teams, so we that's a priority. And we have 2 kids that are very good snappers, and then we have obviously Weber's.
Yeah, Weber's great. Yeah. My father was a special teams coach and a linebackers coach when I was growing up, and he instilled into me, and I think that it's really a lost art in at a lot of different levels. There is no in all 3 phases of the game. There's a reason why they call it special teams for a reason, in my opinion. But all 3 phases of the game, there is no single play where there's so much real estate up for grabs than the single special teams play, whether that be a punt or a kickoff or whatever the case. And at this level, man, you can gain such an advantage by doing it right.
Yeah, and really, if you win 2 out of the 3 phases, you have a
good chance,
high likelihood of winning.
Yeah.
So if you put a high emphasis on special teams, to me it's low hanging fruit. If you excel at that, especially where if you have kids that are very good at snapping the football and punting and kicking the football, which we do, that's a phase that would be very disappointing if we don't win each week.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you coming in and, again, talking about the spring game, promoting things, and talking about where we're at right now. Chewy's going to go to the chat. What do we got in the chat there?
So one last comment we got from Brett Crabtree, just passed along this compliment saying, every time I hear Coach Reed talk, I get more and more excited about the upcoming season. So people are definitely listening and happy about it, too.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you, like I said, coming in, and good luck working with the boys. Man, I can't wait. Every time I talk to him, I can't wait till the next time I talk to him. I'm the same way. Brett, I'm over here. I'm giddy. But you're doing a great job. We really appreciate you taking the time for us this morning.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us this morning here on the starting lineup. Tune in later today. In fact, let me pull this out because Johnny texted me first thing this morning. He texted me and told me who he's having on his show. And so I want to pass that along to you guys. And, of course, I'm not going to be able to find it here. Oh, here it is. Nope, this is the wrong one.
I believe it said
Swanee. Principal Allison and 4 students.
Yeah.
Wow, they're bringing a whole crew with them. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, 100-year celebration, Swanee Elementary. Coming up next month, and that's what they're coming in to talk to today on the show. So good job by him. That'll be from 2 to 4 this afternoon, and then later tonight we will be out at the high school carrying the Franklin County Rebelettes softball game. You'll want to tune in for that one as well. For Chewy, I am Joe Abraham. Special thanks again to Coach Reed for popping in this morning. It is the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.